It's FPX favoring the blue side, while Snake picking the red side in this series so far. Blue side has been much more successful overall, riding at 63% win rate before this match. Power picks are just too numerous, and there's not a lot of good counters to anything.
And now FPX, they know their game plan. Snake knows theirs. Snake needs to get that Akali for Flandre, rolling early, perhaps off the back of some good Kha'Zix ganks. If Kha'Zix can get himself rolling, it's a good sign for them as well. Problem is, FPX have a lot of answers.
They have a lot of strong lanes. That's what they have. I don't see any side really coming out too far ahead on the bottom. And also the mid lane should be advantageous for Doinby on his Urgot versus Galio matchup. Top side, we've seen how the Renekton and Akali plays out. In the laning phase, he does get the shove most of the time. Just a strong champion overall. So FPX, they just need to minimize their mistakes. They had a winning game plan, to be honest. Game 1, Game 2, it really were those mistakes that nearly cost them the game. And if they can have just one smooth sailing, I do see them walking away with this series, even in Chongqing.
And here we go into the final game. The series between FPX versus Snake. It's tied 1-1. Let's see who's going to take home the series and their second victory here in the LPL Spring Split, sorry. I'm getting overhyped, Clement.
Calm down, young one.
It's hard. I'm imagining Snake getting to playoffs.
Oh boy.
I know.
Those were the exact words I said.
It's hard. It's hard being a new, fresh face, so naive to what Snake can do.
Snake are heartbreakers. They're known as the Scrim SKTs because there was one time where SKT came to China and Snake were very proud to pronounce that SKT were not that much of a challenge. Unfortunately, they could never perform as well as their scrims on the field. But this team has a lot of potential. I really like the Snake roster so far. They shored up most of their weaknesses. I'm still a little bit dubious about the ceiling that Mala provides. But at least he's playing up to in the meta, and he's holding his
same thing.
All right, finally the Colonel has been agreeing with me. He gave the composition lead to Snake last time.
At least this time, Snake are going to be pushing down into the bottom lane. They're getting the shove early, which they weren't able to do before.
And here comes the potential encounter between Kha'Zix and Gragas. SOFM probably has to back out here.
He
might get
staying.
finished.
This is a dangerous game he wants to play. He does take it.
Right in the face of Tian. That's just going to be his game plan moving forward. He knows the red is still up. He has the advantage here. Tian sees him.
This is so cheeky from Snake. They have the positioning here on this fight. Mala wants to go around.
I don't think there's anything Tian can do.
If Mala gets in without being seen, he's going to go for the flash. This could be an easy first blood and a jungle win. Tien going to get taken down here by SOFM. First blood.
And I just don't think Tian could do that. He actually knew the Galio was losing lane, and now Doinby is in trouble as well.
Doinby's going to have to get out. The Justice Punch will keep him in place.
And that was such poor communication from the jungler and the mid lane of FPX. It was a very clear two-man game where Snake were in the advantage in terms of the bot lane shove. Galio was also spotted on his way towards the jungle, but just a bit of careless play from Tian, and Doinby still wandering in afterwards was a bit perplexing.
Definitely a little bit of a question mark ping for me there, Clement, but we're going to see a replay of that very jungle fight here.
So you can see the pings going down. They know that Galio is around the corner. Doinby definitely told Tian about that, but Tian still tries to go in, push his luck with the potential red buff steal, and then Doinby still walks in for some reason. This is a clear 2v1 against a red buff isolation Kha'Zix. There's no way you're going to get out of that while committing, so I was a really, really puzzling follow-up from Doinby. Now, I honestly feel like that was the tilt going down to Doinby because he was clearly pinging out that Galio was in the brush. We could see on the minimap right there, he was telling Tian, Galio's there, Galio's there. Tian falls down, and then Doinby follows up for no reason at all.
And this is everything Snake didn't have last game. They had no early game lead. They had no chances in the top lane. The bottom lane wasn't really getting to shove out and play the way they wanted to. But this game, they got 2 kills in the jungle versus Doinby and Tien, which means Tien can't keep tracking SOFM as easily.
I'm sorry, SOFM. I should never have doubted you. You're called Style of Me, not Style of Flandre. So SOFM getting the job done himself, going for a never have doubted you. You're called Style of Me, not Style of Flandre. So SOFM getting the job done himself, going for a never have doubted you. Because called Style of Me, not Style of Flandre. So SOFM getting the job done himself, not going for a never have doubted you. Because called Style of Me, not Style of Flandre. So SOFM getting the job done. So far, that's not going to work. There's always been that easy at a certain point to chase down the top stars, getting the job done. So far, that's not going to work. There's always been that easy at a certain point to chase down the top stars, getting the job done. So far, that's not going to work. There's always been that easy at a certain point to chase down the top stars, getting the job done. So far, that's not going to work. There's always been that easy at a certain point to chase down the top stars, getting the job done. So far, that's not it. You're just not. You don't have so far. That's not it. You're just not. You don't have so far. That's not it.
For that very feeling. Teleport coming in. Oh, that's unfortunate. Snake are going to have to give over the Infernal, but this does give Flandre time to shove out the top lane, if nothing else.
It's a pretty big the Infernal Drake. Now, of course, Infernals, you know, they're great late game, but I'm not sure that teleport was worth it from the top.
Oh, Asura getting flash on and devoured. Now Maestro trying to keep him alive. Asura flashes out, has the Ignite on. Will survive, but that is a lot of damage put down in the early game and both summoners blown.
Good trading coming in from FPX. They do have the vision lead in the river, able to transfer it and just force it very, very hard into the bottom lane. And that was a little bit too easy for Crisp, for my liking. He basically walked up and got the Devourer straight onto Asura.
Maestro was trying to body block, but was not having much luck. And now this might be 2 whole platings taken down by the bot lane of FPX. And last game, the problem was they let LWX farm up, and this is even worse than that.
That's at least a wave and a half denied towards Asura as well. So massive win coming in from the FPX bot lane.
All going to be up to the top side of the map for now. Asura and Maestro, the best I think they can do is just try and play safe, not let that happen again, and keep farming up for the late game.
Red buff almost up for FPX in the bottom side of the map. I do expect Snake to really try and leverage their teleport into the top lane and also the level advantage on the SOFM, where I see the pings going down. I'm not sure this is a fight that FPX necessarily want to contest, but what they should be looking for is how to defend their bot lane after the play does happen.
SOFM getting some deep vision into the jungle. FPX are going to clear it out. But SOFM isn't quite ready to leave yet.
He knows he has a massive advantage here. Tien finally ticking up to 6, but everyone is here for the red buff.
Snake is all here. Bot lane going to be enough to just secure the red buff, but there was a lot of committal just for the red.
It was definitely worth it, though. There was a chance that Flandre could have found a teleport, which Kimgun could not match, and they could wipe the entire team from FPX on the bottom side. So for FPX, that was just, you know, too risky of a play to fully contest, and I like the way they handled it. They cleared out the vision, they set a control ward to make sure that there was any deep vision, and they still got part of the Raptor camp, so it was a really good defensive play given the situation coming in from Tien.
Lane gate coming in onto Mala here from Doinby and Tien. Doinby gets the knockback. Mala flashes out, will be safe for now. Justice Punch back in. The ultimate's coming up from the bottom lane, but Mala's down.
It's a really good play from Doinby. Uses the Echoing Flames to instantly clear the minion wave and get the disdain straight onto Mala. I think Mala was not expecting that. That was a really clever use of his timings right there.
SOFM just going to try and clear out this wave as best he can, but FPX will pick up turret plating.
So Doinby really starting to pick up the pace into that mid lane. We do see the Black Cleaver being picked up typically a lot earlier in the mid lane Urgots. And I feel like it's going to be up to SOFM, who's now sitting on a 30+ CS lead to really carry Snake's early game.
Yeah, he and Flandre are the only members left who are at least a little bit ahead. Together, now that they have this fed Kha'Zix, they might have a chance of taking down Gimgoon and changing the dynamics of this lane that gave them so much trouble last game.
This is still pretty dicey for Snake, though. The bottom side is a clear 4v2 trade, but on the top side, the Renekton, if Gimgoon tried to stay, it's actually very hard to kill him with Dominus. And you can see Gimgoon, he's willing to go back underneath the tower. He knows that his strong side is winning out. Even if he dies here, he can just delay and prevent the trade back from Snake.
Now they will pick up.
It's going to go on mid, though. Oh, never mind. My bad, my bad. He's already bought.
Yeah, no. Not quite, just yet. That'll be the full gold going over to LWX there. 610.
What? Flandre? Hello?
Really not looking good for Snake here, Clement.
Whoops.
Whoops is a bit of an understatement. He was kind of their only lane that was doing well, so him dying in the 1v1 is a bad look.
Yeah, so let's catch that again. Gimgoon still with ultimate, goes in with the Q, gets the W in before Flandre can put smokescreen down. Flandre goes in for some sustain, gets the stun.
Ooh,
doesn't matter.
So much damage coming out of the Renekton in the early game. Flandre doesn't yet have an answer, so he's going to lose that 1v1, and anyone's that'll follow up, I suspect. And now, FPX positioning around top lane and that Herald. They want to keep Flandre down.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Renektons in the meta so far. It's such a strong champion. It's so difficult to tower dive. You can wave clear with your Q and your E. You have your stun that's on 1.5 seconds. So the more I'm seeing of Renekton, actually the more I like out of that champion. I just feel like he's an automatic strong side no matter which jungler you actually select.
And the jungler they selected for Snake, unfortunately, not able to keep up, while TN has been kept down this game. Very unusual for this series. SOFM really hasn't been able to find a foothold across the map. He's been doing very well, but we see both outer towers taken down by FPX in short order, and SOFM has nothing to answer with.
FPX, they just played the laning phase better. They got essentially what was solo kills in all three lanes, I would say. They forced double summoners out of the bot lane. Renekton, Gimgoon got a solo kill. And Joinby also with the really smart Echoing Flames play to get the disdain onto Galio. So this is really what we expect out of a full-fledged FPX team. All three of their lanes can play a ton of champions, they can win early, and it's just about the mid to late game macro game that we want to see them improve on.
Rift Herald dropped mid here from FPX. They'll shortly take down this tower. Turret plating still have 50 seconds left. So this should be a good chunk of gold for the team on the blue side.
That's a rough situation for Snake to contend with. Already a 3-1 turret lead. Oh, and they don't even stop Shelly on the second charge.
Now FPX go give this blue over to Doinby. Flandre not looking like he'll be able to carry this one just yet. He needs to farm up, but that's the story for everyone here on Snake. And if FPX keep this tempo up, they're not going to be able to.
There's just nowhere for Snake to farm right now. Like, their lanes are under a lot of pressure. You can see Flandre farming way above the vision line on his side of the map. And Galio and Sivir kind of have to share the same lane just to stay safe. None of them really want to go 1v1 versus the Renekton in the bot side. So I feel like Snake are going to be hard pinched for resources at this point. And we have to remember one thing. In the current patch, minions don't have auto push mechanics in them. So what you can do as a winning team is you can very effectively freeze side lane waves and just starve the losing team even more.
We'll have to see if FPX have the foresight to do that. Astra will be clearing waves here, has completed the call, so it's a big chunk of gold in his pocket, but again, probably not going to be enough to bring it back for Snake. They need to make a good play here into the bottom lane. SOFM gets spotted out, so Gimgoon should see this coming.
Andre trying to bait Gimgoon into a full committal. Gimgoon cleverly doesn't bite.
This game has yet to break out in earnest, but it doesn't need to. FPX have gotten such a huge lead in such a short time here in the early game. They've got the 3 towers already.
That's level 11 versus level 9. Oh my.
But SOFM, so much damage on isolated targets. You can't duel a Kha'Zix.
That was quite surprising. I mean, there was an Abyssal Voyage coming in as well, but Gimgoon also knew the damage that SOFM could deal. He just says, nope, I'm getting out of here.
Smart decision by him, or he would have been taken out quickly. And now Snake want to get the 3v2 in the mid lane. They're focusing down on the Chris, but the teleport comes in from Gimgoon. SOFM chunked to half here. And Asura's ultimate should be able to get them out, but here comes Tien.
Gets
Ultimate
Flandre.
going to knock back Flandre, but he will make it back to his tower safely.
And even though SOFM had a really good showing against Renekton, LWX with a single Q and that 1k gold lead over Sivir, able to take him down to half with just the Q. So probably not the smartest way to engage on that, I would suspect.
Not a great engage from either side, honestly, but Snake will make it out alive, and that's better than I think they could have hoped for. Now, Gimgoon continuing the relentless push into the bottom lane. Flandre still can't win that 1v1. Hasn't finished the gunplay, but does have teleport.
He could try to keep this wave shoved as where it is and maybe find a pick onto Doinby. He's more of the immobile, he's the most immobile member on the FPX roster right now.
Ooh, SOFM might find a 1v1 here.
Doesn't want to go into 1v3.
Smart. Smart. Now SOFM being forced out of his own jungle.
I think he does have the Reaper Claws evolved, I do believe. That's where the damage was coming from.
He's got 50 CS up on Tien, but it doesn't seem like it matters this game. He can get 1v1s, but no one's going to be isolated on FPX. They don't need to be.
He's doing a good job on playing on the knife's edge, goading FPX to go after him multiple times already. And I'm a little bit surprised, but FPX, Snakes, excuse me, so far have been able to stabilize. They're still losing out quite hard on the CS department just because they have no lane control. You can see in the top side of the map, FPX already willing to let the wave just push towards them, deny a bit more CS coming in from Snake. Galio just doesn't know where he wants to go. He's thinking about mid lane, but at the same time, it's a very long stretch for Sivir to get up there as well.
Doinby taking away the Wolves, gets spotted out by SOFM. And now all of FPX are backing. There's nothing Snake can really do about it. They're just going to clear out that blue side of the jungle. We'll wait to see what happens when FPX is back on the map. Neither Baron nor Dragon is spawning. 2 minutes till Baron, but I don't suspect anyone will go for it just yet. There's no need.
Just as a refresher, Snake has came out ahead in basically all of the team fights that they've taken with FPX. So a possible scenario and win condition for them would simply be to have SOFM reach for the adaptive cloaking, go in onto LWX and just snipe him out before he can do any damage.
It does require them to get the team fights, get the positioning, and get the picks though. And right now, they haven't really been able to force any fights. We only have 4 kills on the board, nearly 20 minutes in. So Snake having their win condition as getting fights is going to be very difficult for them.
I feel like FPX are doing a much better job at just controlling the macro game. They're waiting for their big item spikes.
I'd rather stay here.
Waiting for their Baron most likely.
I don't have overload
Infernal's
speed
gonna
though,
help
so.
them a lot with that as well. So really not much rush from either team. Both of them are pretty content with just scaling up a little.
Well, Snake has 2 decently important item completions just now. The Gunblade for Flandre and the Dustblade for SOFM means that if the 2 of them want to make a play together, it's a lot of extra damage that FPX won't be expecting. Question is if they're going to be able to do that, because right now the way they're moving around the map is not finding them any victims.
Ooh, I like this hit squad coming in from Snake. 2 assassin characters going in together.
He's going in. Here comes the hero's entrance. Flandre comes in. He wants Crisp. They might be able to get the pick off. Justice Punch knocks him up. Crisp is down. Now the flash away from Tien should secure his safety, but at the very least, Snake picks up a kill.
And we do see at the last moment, Tien does get the scuttle back to them, so dampens any hope that Snake can look for the Baron play. Doinby popping Ghost. He's not going to catch up to anyone. Like we were talking about the spike racks coming out from SOFM.
It's a lot of slow coming out from him. Asura should be able to dissuade this push with the ricochet, but oh, and engage on the Flandre takes him out in short order. Now Gimgoon half health. Mala looking for taunt, not able to find it.
That was a really good disengage coming out from Tien, blasting everyone away. And a really good combo onto Flandre as well. Didn't have any time to pop the smoke
SOFM
screen.
might be able to get the kill here. Nope. Will chunk Doinby very low, however. Look at that wave clear from Asura.
It's really hard to capitalize on winning positions for FPX. The wave clear coming out from Snake just is too great. They have the Galio, the Spike Racks, and the Sivir pulling in all their weight. That was a really close fight. I actually felt like if Flandre did time his ultimate better to catch LWX as he was coming out, maybe they could have landed a two-piece. But overall, still a very good fight from them, a good disengage, and a really good cleanup by FPX right there. Tien going in on the right moment onto Flandre.
FPX now 3K gold lead, up 2 towers still, and up the additional dragon. Baron is on the field. There's a lot FPX can do here, but right now they're playing it slow.
The Colonel has spoken. 80% into FPX's favor.
Snake can still pull it back. There's the miracle team fight possibility, but that did seem like a once-in-a-lifetime thing from Flandre.
Got a quadra kill in game 2 to pull Snake within fighting distance. Or I should have said they basically were going to win that game, if not for the last team fight.
Always the potential for FPX to throw, but you don't want to rely on that if you're Snake. So they need to keep making the proactive plays. And Asura now, with those 2 items, is able to easily wave clear. So FPX will need to be a little bit creative about how they push. SOFM might get picked off. Good leap away from Doinby.
Good reaction time from SOFM as well. Dodges out on all of the fights. So I like how Tien is playing this setup. He's going between the mid and the top side. You don't want to leave Doinby alone. If he's isolated with how fed SOFM is, he can still clearly take down the Urgot. The Kha'Zix's a great counter to 1-3-1 compositions because you can pick off side lanes so easily. You do need your jungler to roam more and try to help that out.
Oh, Flandre goes in. 3-man. Here comes the ultimate. Mala is in the fight now. He's trying to get the taunt. He gets it onto 3. This isn't going to be enough. The Devourer will save Tien for now. Flandre's still on the flank. Has the potential to go back in. Mala's low. Gimgoon goes golden. And Snake are being chased out of the fight. Doinby once back in. First kill goes down onto Mala. Here comes Chris and Tien. They pick off 2 more. Flandre and SOFM, the only ones remaining on their team, and FPX with an easy teamfight win.
And Doinby was really the hero of that fight for me because he kept SOFM, the main damage dealer of Snake, on the right side of the wall. So SOFM could find no purchase into the team fight, and even with the initial stun coming in from Flandre, the follow-up really wasn't there.
Now Snake forced back as the death timers are significantly longer than before. The Baron should be an easy take here by FPX. We've seen this before, Clement.
2 assassins are up for Snake as well, and I believe they will have a go at it, see who they can pick off. Another teleport following in, so they're not giving up yet.
SOFM potentially looking for Doinby, but he gets chased off pretty quickly there. Baron goes down to FPX, and SOFM not able to find anyone.
And a flash traded at the back end there between Doinby and SOFM as well. Let's take a look at the fight. SOFM, if he could find his way into the team fight, it should have been some easy kills right there, but Doinby keeping Mala slowed down, taking out, making sure SOFM could not get over the wall, and the 4 members bunched up against Gimgoon is just not a good idea. That Stasis buying so much time to deal damage with the dominance, and of course Crisp with the follow-up.
That Abyssal Voyage from Crisp did so much work in that team fight, able to pick off Snake after they had nearly made their escape, and now FPX, 5 members back up.
That was really a situation that was saved by FPX's front line. They were able to keep the damage dealers off, were able to keep Sivir, Asura, and Maestro back on their heels. And even though there was a 3-man engage onto the backline with Flandre, they couldn't get anything.
Now FPX pick up their 3rd Drake of the game, 2 Cloud Drakes, 1 Infernal. And they'll be looking for the push in all 3 lanes, trying to get the win at this point. It looks like bot lane going to be their first point of focus.
8,000 gold up. LWX already sitting on 3 items. It's going to be a very difficult one for Snake to maneuver. They do have to find that kill onto LWX, but if you look at his summoners, both are still up. It's not going to be an easy task.
He has 3 items, as you say, so he can take anyone out. SOFM,
Solo kill.
See you later, buddy. This could be the game here for FPX. Snake need to get an engage if they want a chance of staying in it.
I don't think SOFM thought about the frozen mallet.
Oh, by
Gets Flandre.
That's going to be the game. FPX going to likely clean up the fight, but they're getting pushed off